Hello, fish fools. Jeff here. So there is a fish right there. That's the only one I can see at the moment. And I do believe that is one of the guppy antler hybrids that I added from one of my 10-gallon aquariums. It could be one of the live bear fry that might have been either a molly or a mosquito fish, but I do think it is a guppy antler hybrid. But yeah, so update on the outdoor tub pond. So the water has turned green. So just being out here outside, it's hard to see through, so I don't know what else might be in here other than seeing that one fish right there at the top. But going back since I set this up, I added wild caught mollies and mosquito fish from the Las Vegas wash near my house. Pretty recently I discovered that they were wild live bearers there, and yeah, so I made a couple attempts to collect some. The first time I put several in here, several adult mollies, and the majority of them jumped out. I mean, this is just a little kiddie pond, so it is pretty much like up to my wrist. And doesn't contain them, so I don't know. I'm still planning on getting more, collecting more to put in here. And I did just do a water change on one of my 40-gallon tanks, so added some, this is fresh Anacris. I did put some other Anacris in here that seemed to be kind of dying off. And this is some subwasser tang that was covered in algae in one of my aquariums. I just threw it in here. And this is about as deep as it's been after doing the water change. I just put some of that water in here, but I had left it pretty much unattended, so it did evaporate some, and this just have a sponge filter here in the middle, and it was down to below the top of the sponge was above the top of the water level. The water level was below that, so there wasn't much water surface agitation, so I don't know if that just made the water kind of stagnant and get green like this. And I also added this filter. This was an an internal filter in one of my 10-gallon tanks. But when I did my last water change on that, I noticed that there was smoke right after I plugged it in. So there is a cut in the cord, and there was smoking. I mean, it still worked, but I didn't want it inside the house, so I just put it in here and put another filter in on that tank. And I really just put it in here because it had ram's horn snail eggs on it, so I wasn't even going to plug it in out here. I just put it in here to kind of so the eggs can hatch out and get some snails in here, and just to kind of serve as like a hiding spot. But just now, for the hell of it, I plugged it in just to see, and I'm not going to leave it alone like this, but just for now let it kind of circulate. And I think what I'll end up doing is just getting a power head to put in here and let it serve that purpose. But yeah, so the plan now, I've been saying it that I was going to go back to try to collect some more. I haven't done it yet, but now I've made an agreement to myself that is going to be non-negotiable. I'm going to do it in 2 days. I'm going to have a chance to go down there, spend some time without it. The only possibility would be if I get stuck at work or, God forbid, any health issues with either myself or my cats. But aside from that, I'm in agreement. It is non-negotiable. It's kind of a thing that I do with myself for like exercising and eating right. I make agreements non-negotiable, but I can do it for things that if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So yeah. All right. So that's the status of this. Oh, and by the way, it has not gotten covered with duckweed because I did add some duckweed in here, so that's a good thing. But it also, yeah, it has turned green, but this time of year, where it is, I thought it would get sunlight in the morning, but it's really not, so I don't know if that's why the plants haven't grown or what, but yeah. So that's this, and the other place that I'm going to put some of the wild-caught livebearers will be my 20-gallon inside. So let's check that out. So this is a 20-gallon high. This was I bought as a kit with the hood, so I mean where it is outside, the first time I caught the livebearers, they were jumpers. Most of them jumped, and I found them dried up out on the ground all around it. But here with the lid, it should keep them contained. Well, and this is just hard water deposits. There is a possibility they could jump out of here, and other tanks I have, I do find like swordtails and guppies and even shrimp with tanks that have hoods. I lose some that way, but I figure I should be able to get some going here. So I did at the last time I caught some. I did put an adult female molly in here, but it did die the same night. It didn't even last like 24 hours, but it may have been just because didn't have any fish in here, but I was throwing excess plants like Java moss and anacris, and all the anacris died off. So this is just Java moss, and there's some subostertang in here. So Java moss, still green, but what was underneath has turned brown. But I have had that happen in other tanks, and it kind of has resurrected. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just kind of rotate it so that we'll get some light. But it is here with the window open, but that angle doesn't get the best sunlight to it. But yeah, this is where they're going to go. I did just do a 90% water change, so whatever water was in here, so hopefully that will be good enough for when I catch some. I'll put some in here. So, I don't know if has been any fish in here. I'm testing the water, or if it's cycled or whatever. I mean, it's been running with the plants in it for a long time, so I think it should be okay. But I'm gonna try it anyway, and I'm gonna keep on trying. And eventually, I expect that I will eventually get some livebearers to last from the Las Vegas Wash, the wild caught ones, and then if they do get a chance to get some to breed in here, and then I figure once the babies that grow up in here will adapt, and that should be fine. Same with the outdoor tub. So yeah. All right. So plan is a couple days I'm going to go down to the Clark County Wetlands Park to the Las Vegas Wash and collect some wild caught livebearers and release them in here and in the tub. So stay tuned for that. All right. Well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.